What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you clicking on this video and watching it. No matter how long you watch it, I appreciate it. Anyway, we're going to talk about a recent roundup of games I've had. I love doing these game hunting gone right videos because, you know, sometimes I have some really good ones and sometimes I have some mediocre ones, but usually if I'm posting one, that means I got some games, got a handful or not. But this time we have, I think, about 10. Yeah, we have 10 games that I've gotten in the last like month or two, and I'm really excited to talk about all these games. So, some of them I've played, some of them I never played, a couple of them I never even heard of. But either way, I'm excited to have them in my collection for good or for bad. That being said, let's get on with it. Alright, so the first game on the list is Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. I have it on the Switch now. Now, when Final Fantasy Tactics originally came out in 1997 on the PlayStation 1, I bought it and I played the living daylights out of it. In fact, I still have my original save on a PS1 memory card. It's like 100 plus hours. I finally got to the point where I didn't care if I actually beat the game or not. What I cared about was 100%ing it. I wanted to get all the classes maxed out and all the skills. I wanted to get all the special characters and all the hidden characters, and I think I got them all. I'm just still waiting to max out these classes. I actually fired it up a couple years ago and it was still there, still looking good. But realistically, I'm probably going to do the same thing on this Switch version because I'm a glutton for punishment and I just like doing that stuff. I like 100%ing games like that. So this game has, this remaster has updated scripts and stories, has updated gameplay additions. It has graphics that have been updated, and it has full voice acting. I enjoy the voice acting, but I've heard other people complain about it. To each their own, I guess. If you haven't had a chance to play this game, either the remaster on the Switch or the modern systems or the original, give it a shot. This is a solid 10 out of 10 for me. Alright, next up is a game that I don't remember ever hearing about this game. It didn't sound familiar. I think I've seen screenshots of it, but I never actually played it. And that's called Black Site Area 51, and I have the Xbox 360 version. Now, this is a first-person shooter that was released in 2007 for the Xbox and the PS3. I never had a chance to play it until now, and to be honest, it's a basic first-person shooter. It's got a few things that make it stand out, though. One of the standouts is the squad-based gameplay. You control two AI squad mates, teammates if you will, and you can give them commands to attack a target, to blow up something, or even do recon of an area. The squad mates have a morale system. The more you kill enemies and meet objectives, the better your squad mates will be in battle. The more damage you or they take, the worse they are. That feature is pretty cool. I like it because it gives you an incentive to play better, not just to rush through the game and not care. Overall, this is a forgettable game. It's honestly a 5 out of 10 for me. It's just not that amazing. I enjoyed playing it for this video. I don't know if I'm going to go back. If you guys think differently and you really like this game, let me know. I'll play through the thing. But as of right now, it's just kind of meh, right in the middle. So, sorry. Alright, next up we have Medal of Honor Frontline for the Nintendo GameCube. Before Call of Duty, there was Medal of Honor. I love the original game on the PS1 and of course fell in love with the next gen titles as well. Medal of Honor Frontline was released in 2002. My buddy and I played the crap out of this title. This was set during World War II. You take part in the front lines of D-Day. The missions take you across Europe, killing German patrols, infiltrating German headquarters in disguise, and even leading a raid to capture a U-boat. The graphics are outdated, but the fun this game brings me is not. If you like first-person shooters, you can't go wrong with this one, and I give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Now next up, of course, after Medal of Honor Frontline is Medal of Honor Rising Sun. That's right, I found them both together, and these are in great condition. Released a year later in 2003, Rising Sun lets you play through the Pacific Theater in World War II. You start during the attack on Pearl Harbor and continue from there. The graphics and gameplay are leaps and bounds better than Frontline. At this point, they were able to really make the GameCube shine. I actually have these titles on the PS2, GameCube, and the Xbox, and I've played all on those systems. I give this one a 9 out of 10 because it looks and plays better. It's amazing what a year can do for graphics and gameplay wise. Alright, the fifth title on this list is Over the Hedge on the PS2. This is a fantastic game. In 2006, the movie Over the Hedge was released, and I was the first in line at the movies. I love this movie. I was so excited when I found out there was a game for sale. The story takes place a year after the movie, and you control the wild animals as they ransack neighborhoods and houses for food to stockpile. It is a fun and a goofy platformer with a bunch of mini games, and the mini games are actually kind of cool. They really test your patience and your skill. They're not just goofy, they're pretty good to get high scores. My favorite part is the voice acting and all the funny dialogue you get throughout the game. If you guys ever saw this movie, if you enjoyed this movie, the game is just as funny. There's all these one-liners, and a lot of the voices sound exactly the same. I know the original actors and actresses, but man, they are on point. If you enjoy platformers that have a sense of humor, you should play this title. I give this one a 7 out of 10. Alright, continuing on, number 6 is Colony Wars for the PlayStation 1. This game was released in 1997 on the PlayStation 1. It is a fun space combat simulation game. The story is a tried and true tale of limited resources in the galaxy, so Earth discovers hyperspace technology, sends out scouts to colonize and strip other planets. Eventually, some of the colonies rebel, and we are thrown into a galactic conflict. You fight for the League of Free Worlds against Earth. The graphics are a bit rough and the controls take time to get used to, but once you get used to them, man, this game is smooth as silk. Although, I will tell you right now, if you shoot your teammates too often, you are deemed a traitor and you'll be destroyed. They will all turn on you, and it's actually kind of fun. There's a time limit, so you can't really just play the game as a traitor. You're eventually blown up, but it's not your fault for hitting them. It's their fault for being in the way. They should move. So keep that in mind. Have some fun with some friendly fire. I give this game a 7 out of 10. Alright, next up, number 7 on the list, we're going to go to the Game Gear, and this is the Itchy and Scratchy game for the Game Gear. So I played this game when it came out in 1995. I wasn't a fan of it then, and that has not changed. Now, I always enjoy adding a new game to my collection, but this one probably won't get played much, or at all. Based on the animated cartoon within the animated cartoon The Simpsons, this side-scrolling platformer is kind of frustrating and confusing. You play as Itchy, the mouse, and your goal is to defeat Scratchy, the cat. Scratchy randomly appears during levels, and you need to deal damage to him before he runs away. Once you've depleted his health, a boss fight happens. This game is not worth the time. Of course, I'll play it so that you don't have to. But if you really need to play it, if you got a Game Gear that's itching to be played and you happen to find a copy of this, go for it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong. You may enjoy it. But I give this game a 3 out of 10. It's just not that good. Alright, so next on the list, number 8 for the Game Boy is Super Mario Land. Released in 1989, this is the first Mario game on the Game Boy. I was addicted to this and Tetris on the Game Boy when I was younger. Never beat it though. Hopefully that'll change soon. Little foreshadowing. Modeled after the first Super Mario Bros., you play as Mario, side-scrolling through 12 levels to rescue Princess Daisy in her first appearance. 2 of the levels are actually forced side-scrolling shoot-'em-ups like Gradius. One is in a submarine and one is in a plane. I preferred this one over the sequel, but I still played them both as much as I could, and it's a great game. I'd still give it an 8 out of 10. It's not a perfect game, but man, it's a pretty good game. Alright, number 9, also on the Game Boy, is Pokemon Red. That's right, I found an original copy of Pokemon Red. Just the game though, but hey, that's good enough for me. So this game was released with in Japan it was released red, green, and blue. And over here we got red and blue. And I was a quasi-Pokemon fan when it all came out, 95, 96. I watched the cartoon when I got home from work. My little brother was usually watching it, and I would sit there and watch it with him. But I never really played any of the games just because I didn't really have a Game Boy at that moment and really didn't care about it. I was more into girls, and I wanted them to think I was cool, and playing Pokemon just didn't fit the bill. Of course, nowadays, I would trade those girls for Pokemon any day. But I, at some point, had an original Game Boy Color that was yellow, and I had the Pokemon yellow version, the special Pikachu version, and I played the heck out of those games. Ended up giving it away, and I shouldn't have, and I feel like an idiot, but yeah, it's Pokemon. I mean, this is such a fantastic game. I'm a sucker because what I do is, whatever color I'm playing, I always pick that as the starter. Okay, so like the red one was Charmander, and the blue one was Squirtle, and all that good stuff. I love Pokemon. I mean, even these original ones on the Game Boy, these are 10 out of 10. They're so much fun. Trying to collect all the various ones, getting the link cable and swapping between them, that was just great fun. But yeah, this was part of a trio. And the best part is, the number 10 game is in fact Pokemon Yellow. Yep, the same exact store had both of these, and the guy was selling them for significantly cheap. And I asked him, can I check them out? Can I open it up? Sure, they were real. He wasn't looking to make money and send his kids to college on Pokemon games, so he sold me these two for pretty dang cheap. And I'm very happy because I finally have back in my possession a copy of Pokemon Yellow. Yeah, just like Pokemon Red though, it's Pokemon. It's fantastic. The only difference was, what they did was they took they took red and blue and they kind of matched them up and made yellow. And in Yellow was the first Pokemon game where you could not pick your starter Pokemon. You were given Pikachu. Nothing wrong with that. And the cool thing was Pikachu didn't like being in the ball, so he would follow you around on screen the whole time. So you always had Pikachu right next to you. I love Pokemon games, and I've collected quite a few. Of course, I give this one a 10 out of 10 too. I think Pokemon Yellow is the perfect game. If you ever have a chance to play some Pokemon you never have, do yourself a favor and experience the joy of Pokemon. So there you go, folks. There are my newest 10 games I've added to the collection. Was able to pick them up to various resale shops and thrift stores in the area. What do you think? Huh? Is that a good haul? Would you consider that a good haul? Were they worth the time and the money? Or are some of these just duds and it's just not your style? Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know. I'd love to know. Take some time this week to play a video game. Hopefully some of you have time off for Thanksgiving and you can play a little video game right before that sleepy turkey hits you. I know it's not the turkey that puts you to sleep, but anyway, let's just pretend. As always, be good people. Be good to those around you and keep on gaming.